Getting tired of these dialogues, man. They're everywhere. You cannot take a shit without one of them showing up. It's gonna keep running. Tired of them. Yeah, that's what I mean, like, as a nocturnal creature, I'm really getting tired of seeing them day and night. And it's not like they're any weaker during the day. People be like, yeah, but they need to hit you twice instead of once. It's like, I think the real issue is, there is no predator they have to fear during the day. There's nothing. There's nothing to counter them during the day. Like, raptors could technically balance them out, but only if the venom was reworked. Because as it stands now, you get hit twice and you're dead because of AI. Then again, you cannot really disable the venom, because that would make no sense. I don't know of a single creature that turns its venom off during the day, you know? Like, they're just venomous. Yeah, but this is what they're rolling with, you know? I mean, if we're being realistic, a lot of things don't fly. If we're being realistic, then Dibbo is not 3 ton. If we're being realistic, then Carno is not 1.3. If we're realistic, Omniraptor doesn't even exist. And if we're realistic, Herrerasaurus wouldn't climb. You know, it's just, those are gameplay mechanics to make it fun. Actually, what I notice is, they bring up realism when it favors them, and then they say, but it's a game when it favors them. They play both sides according to the, based on the argument. You say like, but this isn't realistic, and then they're like, oh, but it's a game, it's supposed to be fun. And then when you say that, like, yeah, but it's a game, we need to balance it, they're so like, but that's not realistic. Bruh, pick a side, stick to it. But, yeah, there's too many of them. There's just way too many of them. That's all I'm seeing and all I'm hearing lately. I'm gonna burn out on seeing Dilos. Even Kissa said it, like, fuck it, I'm gonna play something else because I'm tired of this Dilo routine. He doesn't even wanna play in South and in West anymore because Dilo's everywhere. Yeah, it's the same fight over and over. Oh. Bro, the bite speed, you're onto something there, because if you think about it, it can inflict venom. It doesn't need to bite fast at all. It just needs one good bite. Yeah, that's actually the idea that I have for it, but I don't want to push too much on my own concepts, you know. This is a bit biased. I want to find a good solution to it. No, I think no, that would limit interactivity. I want to boost interactivity, and currently we have a very low amount of that. That's kind of the problem. If they take away damage from the hallucinations, that's a start. But then they will need to... Yeah, but they would have to add like another kind of meter for the venom. Because my idea in a nutshell is that you get a venom meter. I think a venom meter would actually be the solution. Like, you know, when you get bit, you start bleeding, right? The blood drop appears. Now imagine that if you get bit by a Dilo, that another symbol appears, but it's green. Right? And then instead of the meter having to empty, like your blood is going down, right? But let's say you get an empty meter and then it has to fill up. And based on how full that meter is, it does a certain damage over time. Like, the amount of meter filled up depends, like, I mean, decides the intensity of it. That's like my idea in a nutshell. This way the Dilo would have to inject you with more and more venom. I think that's fine actually. If you think about it logically, if you get venom in you and he puts venom in something else, it would make them quite formidable actually. Wait, let me check. Actually, you bring up an interesting point. Oh yeah, you're right. I was actually curious about that and it sounds logical too. Yeah, like then their charges could be used as venom reserve. So if you don't have charges, your bite doesn't deal venom. Because you need to build it up, right? Hey, we're cooking. We're cooking. Sarah's kind of a different cookie. I think the only thing that Sarah really needs changed is instead of you throwing up immediately, is that you get the vomit sickness applied and then RNG will take it from there. Because oh yeah, you could even make it that like depending on the action you take, that the chance goes up or down. Yeah, exactly. Because if you think about it, really think about it, right? That is a deterrent. Because if you make me insta vomit, you are not deterring me. You are motivating me to kill that son of a. Because if I kill him, I fix my issue. Well, if he just bites me and I got vomit sickness, then the first thing I'll do is run to Assault Rock. Like, okay, I can't fight anymore. I want to prevent this from happening. But if it's like an instant thing that occurs, then instead of trying to prevent it, what I would do is I would just keep fighting. I would take hypermetabolic inanition just so I can even get a benefit out of it, and I will kill him. I'll heal the vomit, and then I'll eat him. But those are two balance changes I would love to see in the game. But that Dilo rework, the way. So wait, let me line it up, just to see if I'm missing something here for the Dilo, right? So you bite something, a venom meter appears, you have to inject it. The charges you have are basically your venom reserves. And then passively, clones could spawn and disorientate prey and create openings like, you know, the clone runs in, baits. Because people say, like, if they don't do damage, you can just ignore the clones. But at that point, they forget. Yeah, but how are you gonna do that? Because if we're gonna use the charges as venom reserves. Yeah, it would be weird. So that's why I'm saying, like, the passive clones would be fine for that. Like, the passive clones would be fine for that. And the issue that people bring up is like, yeah, but if the clones don't deal damage, then nobody's gonna respond to the clones. But they forget that you can then do the same thing in reverse. Like, you can go in for real, and you would be ignored. I mean, you can take advantage of the opening if you stay near your prey and you see them out by air. Like a raptor kind of runs in and baits like this. Dilo doesn't have the agility to do that, right? So what Dilo can do is just wait for a clone to go in, you know, and then they react to that clone. They try to bite the clone, and then you can go in. Like combat-wise, it would work. It would increase interactivity. It would also balance out how the. Yeah, but the question is, will the devs want to test that? Bro, if we're gonna talk balance, bro, if we're gonna talk balance, I've got a whole list of problematic creatures. Oh, those are two changes that are high up my list of what I would do. The insta vomit to vomit sickness change is a simple one, very subtle, doesn't really take away anything from Sarah, and at the same time it fixes the entire problem. Yeah, well, they have to big up. Here, Raptor is really weak right now, and this server has the most players are still Raptors, so it won't change anything. It will just create them whining. That's their problem, really. If people are gonna be like, that's literally like saying like my dino is no longer easy. Wah wah. I'm just happy we haven't seen a dino here yet. Alright guys, I'm good on food and water. I'm gonna go to Lion King Rock. Bro, last time I died to a hero when I went on it. You actually, that's the first thing I thought about, son. I was like, bro, I don't want to die like that again. But at the same time, I just want to sit here, man. I'm gonna hide myself. I don't exist. Bye bye. Been traumatized. Another creature I would change is Herrera. I would tune them down because they're already killing like juvies around the clock anyway. Yeah, like I think I actually don't mind if a full-grown Herrera one-shots my Raptor. The issue I have is that I got hit by a 60% Herrera on my full-grown Raptor and I just died on the spot. And I was like, wait, what? Yeah, but such a little bean? Come on. There's like a certain amount of effort I feel that should go behind making these kills. For example, for Dino, you would say, but Dino can do it easily. No, you have to grow the damn thing. That's one. That's a lot of effort for a long time. And after that, you have to wait so patiently for something to come drink. Well, my reasoning here is, I saw a clip from Doki the other day, right? His Herrera three-shotted a big Tenno, essentially, because it bled out after that. What would happen if a Raptor... No, what would happen if a Raptor would ambush a Tenno 3 times, to 3 damage, 3 bleed bounces, and, you know, not even long ones, just very short ones, touch it, hop off, and it would bleed out. Alcourt would not be big enough. Alcourt would not be big enough in the feedback section. Everybody would say the same thing, like, Raptor 2 OP. You know, and they then bring up the thing like, but Raptor can move a lot around. It can be everywhere, so can Herrera. It doesn't have the same limitations as a Dino. And on top of that, they don't even need that much food. Like, they cannot even finish that much food. And on top of that... Yeah, but that's just AI, bro. Like, on top of that, what does 90% of the Herrera population do? Kill juvies. They just kill juvies. Oh look, baby Trudon, jump. Pterodon drinking, jump. Yeah? So I don't think they should punch above... That's just my opinion, right? I think they should not be able to one-shot above 300 kilograms. And I'll do you one better. I think they should not even do bleed at all. Just none. Straight impact damage. You either kill it or you don't. Because at that point, if you take away the bleed, then you get the argument of, yeah, but then they don't one-shot anymore, so the prey will get away. Not if you have a body with you. See where I'm going with this? Because how many Herreras can be in a pack? Yeah. So you would actually see some coordinated group play. Well, we also have the third thing. Oh, actually, yeah. Stanko Power Swing is a really good one. I think a Power Swing should have a solid 2-second cooldown after performing it. Because the way it is now is just voom, 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 voom. No, it's not, because you could follow up. Oh, listen, you can follow up with a normal swing. So then you would get some kind of meta where it can power swing and then normal swing. And then you get the people that play Stego that are like, stop nerfing my Stego further, I'm weak enough as it is, even though they are the strongest dinosaur in the game. Yeah. Some kind of combination, exactly. Because the reason it can power swing like that is for only one reason and one reason alone, and that is Rex. Let's be real. To be fair, it's not gonna beat Rex. Rex is gonna destroy Stego. It's gonna body it. Don't forget, a Stego takes 300% damage on the head. So that would mean that if it was 1.2, let's just say even 1k, let's just throw a low ball and say it's gonna be 1k bite force, just to, give it the benefit of the doubt for Stego that it won't be that crazy high, because if it's that high, then Stego is just dead. But that is 3000 damage per headshot. You get bit twice, your full grown Stego is dead. No, it's 2. I mean, it's 3. It's 3. So even with your Raptor, you have 65, right? So that is 130, 65 on top. That is 195 damage you deal to the head on bite. It's quite a bit. Yeah, but I think it's important that it gets above for one reason. The fact that a Dilo can face tank a Carno in broad daylight is beyond me. Yeah, it can even do that to Sarah. But then again, if you would change Dilo inherently, that it cannot do that anymore. Because right now it is making kills with AI.